Time mastery. How to balance work, life, and your dreams. Time is a canvas upon which we paint our lives, and yet too often it feels as though the colors of our dreams, responsibilities, and passions are being diluted by the relentless pace of modern existence. I remember a time when every morning I awoke with fire in my heart and a world of possibilities before me, only to find that by nightfall I had scarcely managed to cross a few items off my to-do list. It was as if the day had slipped away in a series of chaotic moments, leaving me exhausted, frustrated, and wondering where all my time had gone. That sense of lost time, of unfulfilled potential, became the catalyst for a profound personal journey, a journey toward what I now call time mastery. In this journey, I discovered that the secret to a balanced, fulfilling life is not found in rigid schedules or endless lists of tasks, but in a deep, transformative understanding of our relationship with time itself. I grew up believing that success was measured by the number of hours we worked and the quantity of tasks we completed. For many years, I hustled from one commitment to next, convinced that the more I did, the closer I was to achieving my dreams. Yet, despite the constant motion, there remained an inner void, a nagging sense that something essential was missing. I experienced moments of brilliance alongside overwhelming chaos. Days filled with productivity were often followed by nights of deep introspection and self-doubt. I began to ask myself, what if I could channel the very same hours that slipped through my fingers into something more meaningful, something that aligned with my deepest values and aspirations? That question led me to a crossroads in my life, where I decided to explore a new paradigm, the idea of mastering time rather than simply managing it. I soon learned that time mastery is not about squeezing more tasks into our day, but about aligning our daily actions with our personal vision and values. It is about recognizing that time is not an enemy to be conquered, but a precious resource to be nurtured and respected. Through years of trial and error, research, and personal reflection, I uncovered strategies that allowed me to transform my relationship with time. I discovered that by prioritizing what truly matters and letting go of what is not, I could create a harmonious balance between work, life, and the dreams that once seemed so far out of reach. As I embark on this journey, I encountered the modern dilemma in all its complexity. The world we live in today is a place of constant distraction, relentless demands, and a pace that often leaves little room for introspection. The digital age has bestowed upon us incredible tools and opportunities, yet it has also introduced challenges that can easily overwhelm even the most determined among us. According to a study by the American Psychological Association, nearly 40% of adults report that they feel chronically stressed by the demands of modern life, a statistic that resonates deeply with anyone who has ever felt that there are not enough hours in the day. This modern dilemma is not merely about the quantity of time we have, but about the quality of how we experience it. In our pursuit of productivity, we often sacrifice moments of genuine connection, creativity, and rest, elements that are essential for a truly balanced and fulfilled life. I recall an instance early in my career when I was juggling multiple projects and personal commitments. I was constantly checking my phone, responding to emails, and racing from one meeting to the next, all while trying to find time for my family and my own creative pursuits. It was a recipe for burnout. A close friend, who had dedicated years to mastering the art of time management, once told me, "Time is not something you conquer, it's something you dance with." That statement resonated with me deeply because it suggested that the key was not in fighting against the relentless flow of time, but in learning to move in harmony with it. That moment of clarity was the spark that ignited my quest for time mastery, a quest that ultimately led me to understand that our lives are not measured by the sheer volume of activities, but by the depth of our engagement with each moment. In exploring the concept of time mastery, I came across a wealth of wisdom from various sources. One particularly striking insight came from a study published in the Harvard Business Review, which found that individuals who adopt a holistic approach to time, one that integrates their personal values with their daily actions, report significantly higher levels of satisfaction and success in both their professional and personal lives. This research reinforced my belief that mastering time is about more than just schedules and calendars. It is about cultivating a mindset that values quality over quantity, purpose over busyness, and balance over sheer effort. Over time, I began to see the patterns that underlie our daily struggles with time. I observed that many of us are trapped in cycles of reaction rather than intentional action. We allow external demands to dictate our days, leaving little room for personal growth or reflection. I started to see that the key to breaking free from this cycle was not in adding more tasks to our agenda, but in rethinking our relationship with time itself. It was in that realization that I began to understand the true essence of time mastery, a concept that goes far beyond traditional time management techniques. Time mastery is about creating a life where each moment is infused with meaning, where work, life, and dreams are not competing forces, but interconnected elements of a harmonious whole. As I delved deeper into the subject, I experimented with various techniques and practices that promised to unlock the hidden potential of my time. I tried everything from meticulously planned schedules to digital detoxes, from mindfulness meditation to strategic goal setting. With each experiment, I discovered something new about myself and the way I interacted with the hours of my day. One notable turning point was when I began to see time not as a relentless taskmaster, but as a faithful companion on my journey toward personal fulfillment. I learned to listen to the subtle cues of my body and mind, to recognize when I needed to push forward and when I needed to step back and recharge. In doing so, I began to appreciate the value of balance and the importance of aligning my daily actions with a larger, more meaningful vision. I remember a day when everything seemed to fall into place. It was a crisp autumn morning, and as I sat by the window with a cup of tea, I realized that for the first time in years, I was not rushing to meet deadlines or jumping from one meeting to another. Instead, I was savoring the quiet moments, allowing myself to reflect on the beauty of the day and the possibilities that lay ahead. That morning marked the beginning of a new chapter in my life, a chapter where I embraced the idea of time mastery and began to see each day as an opportunity to grow, learn, and create. That simple, yet profound shift in perspective taught me that the true measure of success is not found in how busy we are, but in how deeply we live. As you listen to this audiobook, I invite you to join me on a journey that will challenge your perceptions, expand your horizons, and ultimately transform the way you interact with time. What you are about to experience is not a rigid set of rules or a one-size-fits-all formula. Rather, it is an invitation to reimagine your life as a masterpiece in progress, one in which every moment counts. Throughout the coming chapters, you'll encounter practical strategies designed to help you reclaim your time, reflective exercises that will encourage you to explore your inner landscape, and actionable steps that will empower you to turn your dreams into reality. Imagine for a moment that you are the conductor of a grand orchestra, where every instrument represents a facet of your life. Your work, your relationships, your passions, and your personal growth. When each instrument plays in harmony, the result is a symphony that resonates with meaning and purpose. However, when one section dominates or falls out of tune, the entire performance suffers. This is the essence of time mastery. It is the art of ensuring that every part of your life plays its role in the grand composition, creating a melody that is both powerful and beautiful. I have seen firsthand the transformative power of this approach in my own life, and in the lives of countless individuals I have encountered along the way. Consider the story of a colleague who once struggled with the demands of a high-powered career while also yearning to pursue a passion for writing. For years, he felt torn between two worlds, convinced that success in one area meant sacrifice in the other. However, through a process of introspection and deliberate planning, he discovered that by aligning his daily routines with his core values, he could excel in his professional life while also dedicating time to his creative pursuits. Today, he not only leads a successful team at a prominent firm, but has also published several works of fiction that have garnered critical acclaim. His journey is a testament to the idea that time mastery is not a zero-sum game. It is a holistic approach that allows us to thrive in every aspect of our lives. In another instance, a small business owner I once met was overwhelmed by the pressures of running a company while trying to maintain a healthy family life. She described her days as a constant tug-of-war between meetings, deadlines, and the never-ending demands of her business. Yet, When she began to apply the principles of time mastery, she discovered that by setting clear priorities and embracing a flexible mindset, she could create a work environment that was both productive and nurturing. Her newfound approach not only improved her business outcomes, but also enriched her personal relationships, leading to a more joyful and balanced existence. Stories like these are not isolated incidents. They are reflections of a broader truth about the way we can harness time to serve our highest aspirations. As you reflect on these examples, you might find yourself wondering how it is possible to bridge the gap between the chaos of daily life and the calm of a purposeful existence. The answer lies in a simple yet profound shift in perspective, a shift from the mindset of time management to that of time mastery. Time management often implies a struggle to fit more tasks into an already overburdened schedule, where every minute is accounted for and efficiency is measured by the number of tasks completed. While this approach can lead to short-term gains, it frequently overlooks the deeper, more sustaining elements of fulfilling life. Time mastery, on the other hand, is about embracing a more expansive view. It is a recognition that time is not a commodity to be hoarded or depleted, but a living, dynamic force that flows through every aspect of our being. It calls for a balanced integration of our personal values, passions, and responsibilities, an integration that allows us to pursue our dreams without sacrificing our well-being. In practical terms, time mastery involves rethinking our priorities and reordering our lives in ways that honor both our ambitions and our need for rest and renewal. It requires us to ask ourselves difficult questions. What truly matters to me? How do I define success on my own terms? And what steps can I take today to move closer to the life I envision? These questions are not meant to be answered hastily. They are invitations to engage in a deeper dialogue with ourselves, a dialogue that challenges us to rethink the very nature of time and its role in our lives. I encourage you, as you listen to these words, to allow yourself the space and curiosity to explore these questions fully. The journey toward time mastery is as much about personal growth as it is about practical strategies. It calls for a mindset of continuous improvement, where every setback is seen as an opportunity for learning, and every success is celebrated as a step forward on the path to greater fulfillment. This journey is not linear. It is filled with twists, turns, and moments of uncertainty. Yet, within this ebb and flow lies potential for profound transformation. Over time, you will learn that mastering time is not a destination, but a lifelong pursuit, one that requires resilience, strategic thinking, and a deep commitment to aligning your actions with your highest values. It is important to recognize that this path will challenge some of the assumptions you may have held about time. For instance, many of us have been conditioned to believe that being busy is a sign of importance or productivity. However, research has repeatedly shown that busyness does not necessarily equate to effectiveness. In fact, a study conducted by the University of California found that individuals who deliberately scheduled downtime and moments of reflection were more creative and made better decisions than those who filled every minute with activity. This finding underscores the idea that true productivity is not about constant motion, but about creating a rhythm that balances periods of intense focus with moments of rest and renewal. Furthermore, the modern world bombards us with messages that equate success with perpetual hustle. Advertisements, social media, and even well-meaning peers often celebrate a lifestyle that leaves little room for self-care or genuine relaxation. Yet, this culture of busyness can be counterproductive. When we overextend ourselves in the name of achievement, we risk depleting the very resources, energy, creativity, and emotional well-being that enable us to perform at our best. I have seen many talented individuals, despite their relentless efforts, fall prey to burnout because they never allowed themselves the grace to pause and recalibrate. It is through the deliberate practice of time mastery that we learn to set boundaries, to say no when necessary, and to recognize that every moment of rest is an investment in our long-term success. In this audiobook, you will encounter a variety of techniques that I have honed over the years to reclaim control of my time and, ultimately, my life. You will learn how to design your day around your most important priorities, rather than allowing external demands to dictate your schedule. You will discover the power of reflective exercises that help you connect with your inner values, and you'll be introduced to actionable steps that you can implement immediately to start seeing a positive change in how you experience time. For example, one simple yet transformative practice is the art of mindful transitions. Rather than letting your day slip from one task to the next without pause, mindful transitions invite you to take a brief moment between activities to breathe, reflect, and realign yourself with your intentions. This practice not only enhances focus, but also creates a buffer against the overwhelming pace of modern life. Moreover, the principles of time mastery extend beyond the realm of personal productivity. They touch on every aspect of life, from nurturing meaningful relationships to pursuing creative passions, from maintaining physical well-being to cultivating mental clarity. As you move through the chapters of this audiobook, you'll see that time mastery is not an isolated concept, but a comprehensive framework for living a life of balance and purpose. It is a framework that encourages you to continuously refine your approach, to remain open to new ideas, and to adapt your strategies as your life evolves. Whether you are a busy professional, a dedicated parent, an aspiring artist, or someone in search of deeper fulfillment, the insights shared in these pages are designed to help you navigate the complexities of modern life with grace and confidence. I invite you to imagine the possibilities that await when you begin to see time as an ally rather than an adversary. Picture a life where your work does not come at the expense of your relationships, where your personal dreams are given space to flourish, and where every day is imbued with a sense of purpose and possibility. This is not a fantasy. It is a reality that can be achieved through deliberate action and a commitment to aligning your daily routines with the deeper truths of who you are. As the poet William Penn once said, "Time is what we want most, but what we use worst." This statement serves as both a caution and a call to action, reminding us that the way we choose to spend our time ultimately shapes the quality of our lives. In reflecting on my own journey toward time mastery, I have come to understand that the transition from simply managing time to truly mastering it requires a radical shift in mindset. It involves letting go of the notion that time is a scarce commodity to be guarded, and instead embracing the idea that time is a dynamic force that can be channeled to create positive change. This shift is not always easy, as it challenges long-held beliefs and societal norms. However, it is precisely this challenge that makes the journey so rewarding. With each step forward, you'll not only reclaim hours in your day, but also discover a deeper reservoir of creativity, resilience, and joy within yourself. I realize that some of you may be skeptical, wondering if such a transformation is truly within your reach. I understand that feeling, because I too have been there, feeling trapped in a cycle of endless obligations and self-imposed pressure. But I also know that with the right approach and a willingness to question old patterns, it is entirely possible to break free and create a life that honors both your ambitions and your need for balance. It is a journey that demands courage, introspection, and a willingness to embrace discomfort as a stepping stone toward growth. The journey you are about to undertake is not one of instant fixes or magic formulas. It is a process of gradual, deliberate change, a process that requires patience, persistence, and a recognition that every small step counts. In the coming chapters, you'll find that the path to time mastery is paved with practical strategies that have been tested and refined over decades of personal and professional experience. These strategies are designed not only to help you reclaim your time, but also to empower you to live with intention and clarity. They invite you to take a hard look at your current habits, to identify what is truly important, and to make conscious choices that align with your long-term vision. As you listen to this message, I encourage you to begin by reflecting on your own relationship with time. Ask yourself, what would it mean for you to truly master your time? How would your life change if you could carve out space for both your professional aspirations and your personal passions? These are not questions with easy answers, but they are the starting point of a journey that promises to transform not only the way you manage your day, but the very essence of how you experience life. Before we continue, it is important to recognize that the journey to time mastery is deeply personal and uniquely different for each of us. What works for one person may not work for another, and that is perfectly acceptable. The goal is not to adopt someone else's routine or mindset wholesale, but to discover the strategies and practices that resonate with your own life and aspirations. This audiobook is intended as a guide, a collection of insights, reflections, and actionable steps that you can tailor to your individual needs. It is my hope that as you progress through these chapters, you'll find yourself inspired to experiment, to fail, and ultimately to succeed in ways that align with your deepest values. In the spirit of continuous improvement, I want to leave you with a powerful reminder. The pursuit of time mastery is a journey of perpetual evolution. There will be days when you feel in complete control of your schedule, and there will be days when time seems to slip away despite your best efforts. Both are part of the process. Embrace the setbacks as opportunities to learn and celebrate the victories, no matter how small, as milestones on your path to a more balanced and fulfilling life. At this juncture, it is helpful to summarize the key insights we have explored in this opening chapter. First, we began with the realization that time is not merely a measure of minutes and hours, but the very medium through which we express our potential. Second, my personal journey, from a state of chaotic busyness to one of intentional living, serves as a testament to the transformative power of mastering time. Third, we have acknowledged a modern dilemma, the overwhelming pace of life in the digital age, where distractions abound and genuine connection is often sacrificed. Fourth, we have introduced the concept of time mastery as a holistic approach that goes beyond traditional time management, emphasizing the alignment of daily actions with personal values and long-term dreams. Finally, we have set the stage for the journey ahead, inviting you to embark on a path of self-discovery, strategic planning, and continuous growth. As you prepare to delve deeper into strategies and insights that follow, remember that the journey to mastering time is not a race, but a mindful dance, a process of learning to harmonize the competing rhythms of work, life, and dreams. Each day presents an opportunity to realign with your purpose, to make choices that reflect your values, and create a life that is as vibrant and dynamic as the moments that compose it. I invite you to take a moment now to breathe deeply, to feel the steady pulse of your heart, and to recognize that within you lies the power to transform your relationship with time. The path ahead is illuminated by the knowledge that every minute holds a potential for renewal, creativity, and joy. With an open mind and courageous heart, you can learn to navigate the complexities of modern life with grace and purpose. You can learn to see time not as a relentless adversary, but as a trusted ally in your quest for balance and fulfillment. As we begin this journey together, keep in mind the words of a wise thinker who once said, "Time is the most valuable thing a person can spend." Let these words serve as both a reminder and an inspiration. They remind us that the way we choose to invest our time ultimately shapes the quality of our lives, and they inspire us to seek out the moments of beauty, connection, and growth that lie hidden within the everyday. Embrace the idea that every second is an opportunity, a chance to realign your priorities, to nurture your passions, and to build a future that resonates with purpose. The following chapters will offer you a roadmap, a series of practical, actionable steps that you can incorporate into your daily life to gradually shift from mere time management to true time mastery. You will encounter techniques designed to help you set clear priorities, cultivate a growth mindset, and foster a sense of resilience in the face of challenges. You will also discover reflective exercises that encourage you to delve into your inner world and connect with your deepest values, paving the way for decisions that honor both your professional ambitions and your personal well-being. In closing this introductory chapter, let us revisit the core ideas that have set the stage for our journey. 1. Recognize that time is a living, dynamic resource, one that holds the potential for transformation if we learn to harness it with intention and care. 2. Understand that true mastery of time is not about doing more, but about doing what matters most, aligning our daily actions with our personal vision and values. 3. Acknowledge the modern dilemma of constant distraction and pressure, and embrace the possibility of creating balance even in the midst of chaos. 4. Begin to shift your mindset from that of a time manager who merely schedules tasks to that of a time master who cultivates a holistic approach to life that honors work, relationships, and dreams alike. I encourage you to carry these insights with you as you continue to listen, reflect, and engage with the strategies and stories that follow. Allow them to spark a transformation within you, a transformation that will empower you to reclaim your time, to design a life that is rich in meaning, and to turn the challenges of the modern world into opportunities for growth and fulfillment. The journey to time mastery is a journey of the heart and mind, one that promises to unlock the hidden potential within you and to reveal the true beauty of a balanced, purposeful life. As you step forward into this exploration of time mastery, remember that every day is a blank page upon which you can write your own story. Let the pages be filled not with a frantic scrawl of busyness, but with deliberate strokes of passion, intention, and joy. The power to transform your life is in your hands, and the first step is simply to believe that you are capable of change. With each mindful decision, each reflective moment, and each deliberate action, you are weaving a tapestry of time that reflects the very essence of who you are and who you aspire to be. I invite you now to pause, to reflect on the insights we have shared, and to imagine a life that awaits when you truly master your time. The journey ahead is long, filled with both challenges and triumphs, but is also rich with possibility. A journey that promises to lead you to a future where work, life, and dreams coexist in harmonious and deeply fulfilling balance. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I look forward to walking alongside you as we unlock the secrets of time mastery, one intentional moment at a time. But before we start Chapter 1, if you're enjoying this audiobook so far, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Audiobook Center. You'll be notified when new books are released, and it helps support the creation of more audiobooks like this one. Chapter 1. Assessing your current relationship with time. Time is our most precious resource, and the way we choose to spend it shapes the very essence of our lives. Imagine for a moment that time is like a river that flows continuously, carried with the moments, decisions, and opportunities that define our journey. If we do not learn to navigate its currents, we may find ourselves swept away by obligations and distractions, losing sight of our dreams and values. Today marks the beginning of a transformative journey, a journey that will help you gain mastery over your time, so that you can design a life of balance, fulfillment, and purpose. In this first chapter, we will embark on a deep exploration of your current relationship with time. We will learn how to assess the way you use every hour of your day, uncover the hidden patterns that dictate your actions, and discover the emotional and psychological factors that may be holding you back. The goal is not to criticize or judge, but to empower you with clarity and insight, so that you can make deliberate choices that align with your true priorities. As you listen, picture yourself standing at a crossroads where every decision, every minute, has a potential to lead you closer to the life you envision. It is easy to become overwhelmed by the notion that there are simply not enough hours in the day. However, the truth is that when you truly understand your habits and your patterns, you begin to see time not as a scarce commodity, but as a malleable tool that you can shape to serve your deepest aspirations. The first step in mastering time is to assess where your time goes and why. Without an honest evaluation of your current practices, any attempt to change will be like trying to steer a ship without a compass. I invite you now to take a moment and consider your daily routine. Close your eyes if you need to and reflect on a typical day. From the moment you wake up until you finally lay your head down at night, how many of those moments are spent on activities that truly contribute to your long-term goals? Often, our daily schedules are filled with tasks and distractions that seem urgent at the moment, but may not necessarily be important in the grand scheme of our lives. In the coming pages, we will discuss practical methods to conduct what is known as a time audit, a systematic approach to tracking your time usage over days, weeks, and even months. This process will not only reveal the surprising gaps where time is lost, but will also help you identify the recurring patterns that dictate your behavior. To begin your time audit, start with the simplest step, tracking every activity for a full day. Record when you wake up, what tasks you perform, when you check your phone, how long you spend on each activity, and even the moments in between tasks. It may sound tedious, but by writing down your every move, you will soon discover that many of your habits are subconscious. Perhaps you find yourself frequently checking social media or engaging in unplanned conversations that extend far longer than intended. This initial exercise lays the groundwork for deeper insights. As you move from daily tracking to a weekly and then a monthly review, the aggregated data will help you understand which part of your schedule are truly productive and which are simply time fillers. After completing a time audit for at least 1 week, you will likely notice that some patterns emerge. For instance, you might observe that certain hours a day are consistently spent on routine tasks that, while necessary, could be streamlined. In contrast, there may be pockets of time where you engage in activities that, although enjoyable, do not contribute to your long-term ambitions. Recognizing these patterns is an essential part of the process. The ability to distinguish between what we term as time-wasting habits and productive routines is crucial. A time-wasting habit might include repetitive checking of emails or social media without a clear purpose. On the other hand, a productive routine might be a scheduled block of time dedicated solely to working on a personal project or engaging in meaningful exercise. Understanding the difference is the first step in reclaiming your day. It is important to acknowledge that identifying these patterns is not about self-criticism. Instead, it is a tool for self-discovery, a way to understand how your habits reflect your values, ambitions, and even your fears. Often, the habits we wish to change are rooted in deeper emotional and psychological barriers. For example, you might find that procrastination is not merely a failure discipline, but rather a manifestation of underlying anxiety about meeting high expectations or fear failure. When you begin to see these patterns for what they truly are, you empower yourself with the knowledge that you can change them. This realization is the spark that ignites the journey toward a more intentional and fulfilling life. In order to move from observation to transformation, self-reflection becomes indispensable. One powerful tool for self-reflection is journaling. Journaling is more than just writing down what happened during your day. It is a practice of introspection that helps you uncover the emotional and psychological factors influencing your behavior. As you record your thoughts, feelings, and actions, you might discover recurring themes. Perhaps feelings of guilt after indulging in distractions or a sense of satisfaction when you manage to stick to a planned schedule. The insights gained from journaling serve as a mirror, reflecting back to you the true reasons behind your time management challenges. Over time, this process of self-reflection can lead to profound personal growth and a deeper understanding of your intrinsic motivations. To get started with journaling, set aside a dedicated time each day, preferably at the end of the day, when you can sit quietly and reflect on your experiences. Ask yourself questions like, what activities made me feel most fulfilled today? When did I lose track of time? And what was I doing at that moment? Were there any moments of distraction that I could have avoided? As you answer these questions, try to write honestly and openly, without judgment. Remember that this journal is for your eyes only, a safe space where you can explore your inner world and gain clarity on what truly matters to you. By doing so, you will begin to see a direct connection between your emotions, your behaviors, and ultimately, your results. As you progress in your self-reflection journey, it becomes necessary to shift focus from merely tracking time to assessing priorities. At this point, you have gathered a wealth of information about your daily habits and have begun to understand the underlying reasons for your choices. The next logical step is to align these activities with your core values. Ask yourself, what are the most important areas of my life? How do my daily actions support or detract from these areas? It is not uncommon to find a significant gap between what we claim to value and what our habits indicate. For instance, you may hold family, creativity, and personal growth in high regard, yet find that the majority of your time is spent on tasks that do not contribute to these priorities. Recognizing this disconnect is a critical moment in your journey, as it provides the impetus for change. The process of aligning your activities with your core values involves a deliberate and often challenging process of reprioritization. It is essential to be honest with yourself about what truly matters. In many cases, you might be surprised to find that the activities you once considered indispensable no longer serve your higher purpose. By evaluating your current commitments, you can begin to make adjustments that create space for what is truly important. For many individuals, this is where the concept of saying no becomes a powerful tool. Learning to say no to low-priority tasks and distractions is not an act of selfishness. It is a declaration of commitment to your dreams and long-term goals. Throughout history, many successful individuals have attributed their achievements not merely to hard work, but to a clear understanding of their priorities. One renowned entrepreneur, for instance, reshaped their entire schedule after realizing that their true passion lay in innovation and creative problem-solving rather than the constant chase of routine tasks. By carving out dedicated time for creative thinking, they were able to revolutionize their industry and inspire countless others to do the same. Such examples remind us that time, when managed wisely, can be the catalyst for extraordinary achievements. The journey towards mastering time is not a linear one. It is a path filled with learning, experimentation, and occasional setbacks. As you work through your time audit, reflect on your habits, and assess your priorities, you will likely encounter challenges that test your resolve. Perhaps you will struggle to maintain consistency in your tracking, or maybe the insights from your journal will reveal patterns that are difficult to change. In these moments, it is important to remember that transformation takes time and persistence. The process of continuous improvement is built on small, incremental changes that, over time, lead to profound transformation. I invite you to consider this process in 4 simple steps. First, track your time without judgment, simply recording the activities of your day. Second, review your data to identify patterns. Note the times when you're most productive and the moments when distractions seem to take over. Third, engage in honest self-reflection by journaling about your feelings and motivations throughout the day. And finally, assess your priorities by comparing your daily activities against the values and goals that you hold dear. Each of these steps builds on the previous one, creating a foundation for lasting change. To illustrate this process further, consider the case of a professional who found themselves overwhelmed by the demands of a fast-paced career. At first, they attempted to simply work harder, believing that increased effort would solve the problem. However, after conducting a detailed time audit, they discovered that a significant portion of their day was consumed by unplanned interruptions and inefficient multitasking. By systematically tracking their time and reflecting on the root causes of these disruptions, they were able to identify a clear pattern, a habit of constantly switching tasks without allowing themselves sufficient focus. Once this pattern was recognized, they took deliberate steps to restructure their workday. They set aside specific blocks of time for deep work, turned off unnecessary notifications, and even learned to delegate tasks that were not aligned with their core competencies. The result was not only a more productive workday, but also a renewed sense of purpose and well-being. This example is not unique. Many individuals, regardless of their profession or stage in life, have encountered similar challenges when it comes to managing time. What sets those who succeed apart is their willingness to face the truth about how they spend their time and to make the necessary adjustments. It is a testament to the power of self-awareness and the transformative effect of aligning one's actions with one's values. As you listen to these words, remember that every moment is an opportunity to learn more about yourself and to reshape your destiny. The insights you gain from this chapter will serve as a guide for the chapters to come, where we will delve even deeper into practical strategies for achieving time mastery. The road ahead may be long, but with each step, you'll become more attuned to the rhythms of your life and better equipped to harness the power of every passing minute. Moreover, it is important to recognize that time mastery is not a destination, but a continuous journey of growth and improvement. Even those who have achieved remarkable success in managing their time often find themselves revisiting these foundational practices. They understand that the process of tracking, reflecting, and realigning is ongoing, and that flexibility is key to adapting to life's inevitable changes. This dynamic approach ensures that your system remains resilient, even as your responsibilities and dreams evolve over time. In moments of uncertainty, remind yourself that you are not alone on this journey. Countless others have walked this path before you. each grappling with the same fundamental challenge: how to reconcile the demands of daily life with the desire to pursue one's dreams. Their experiences serve as both inspiration and proof that meaningful change is within reach. Statistics from various studies have shown that individuals who regularly engage in self-reflection and time tracking are significantly more likely to achieve their long-term goals. For example, research published in reputable business and psychological journals has found that structured time audits can lead to a 20% improvement in overall productivity and a marked reduction in stress levels. These findings underscore the importance of developing a disciplined yet flexible approach to time management. It is equally important to celebrate the small victories along the way. When you begin to see improvements in how you allocate your time, take a moment to acknowledge your progress. Perhaps you discover that a simple adjustment, like turning off notifications during work sessions, resulted in a dramatic increase in focus and efficiency. These incremental changes, though seemingly minor, are the building blocks of a more balanced and intentional life. They serve as tangible evidence that your efforts are paying off and that you are moving steadily toward a future where your actions are in harmony with your deepest aspirations. In addition to tracking your external activities, it is equally vital to explore your internal landscape. Our emotions, beliefs, and past experiences all play a role in shaping the way we manage time. There may be subconscious beliefs that subtly influence your behavior. For instance, the notion that you must always be busy in order to be successful. Such beliefs can create a self-fulfilling cycle of overcommitment and burnout. By taking the time to reflect on these internal narratives, you can begin to challenge and reframe them. Ask yourself, what messages about time did I internalize growing up? How do these messages influence my decisions today? As you answer these questions, you might find that certain deeply ingrained ideas are no longer serving you. In doing so, you open up space for new, more empowering beliefs that honor your need for balance and creativity. I encourage you to view your time audit and reflection not as a chore, but as a journey of self-discovery. Think of it as an exploration into the hidden corners of your daily life, where every minute recorded is a clue to understanding your true self. This process, while sometimes challenging, is ultimately liberating. It reveals that you have the power to redesign your life from the ground up. Just as an artist clears away excess canvas to reveal the masterpiece underneath, you too can strip away the clutter of unintentional habits to expose the vibrant, purposeful life that lies beneath. As you begin to understand these aspects of your relationship with time, you'll also start to notice the subtle interplay between external demands and internal motivations. There may be times when external pressures force you into a reactive mode, leaving little room for deliberate planning. During such times, it is especially important to rely on the insights gleaned from your time audit and journaling. By revisiting your records, you can identify whether external circumstances or internal choices are driving your behavior. This level of self-awareness is a powerful tool, as it enables you to reclaim control even in the midst of chaos. Consider the example of a creative professional who once found themselves constantly interrupted by urgent emails and unexpected meetings. After several months of diligently tracking their time and reflecting on their daily experiences, they realized that the interruptions were not random but were often triggered by their own habit of being perpetually available. By recognizing this pattern, they took a bold step to redefine their boundaries. They established designated hours for deep work and communicated clearly with colleagues about their availability. This simple yet profound change led to a significant increase in productivity, and more importantly, it restored a sense of balance and autonomy to their work life. Their story is a powerful reminder that the first step to change is always self-awareness. While it may seem daunting to confront the full extent of how your time is spent, the rewards of this process are immeasurable. By fully understanding your current relationship with time, you're laying the foundation for a future where each day is intentionally crafted to reflect your highest aspirations. Every hour, every minute becomes an opportunity to live in alignment with your core values. As you continue to implement these practices, you'll find that you are not only more productive, but also more fulfilled, more resilient, and more connected to your true self. I want to emphasize that there is no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to mastering time. The techniques discussed here are tools that you can adapt to fit your unique lifestyle, challenges, and dreams. For some, the process may involve a radical overhaul of daily routines, while for others, small adjustments may yield profound benefits. The key is to remain open, curious, and committed to continuous improvement. Embrace the idea that every day is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to fine-tune your approach to life. To put the process into perspective, consider the following 4 steps that you can integrate into your daily routine. First, conduct a thorough time audit by diligently recording your activities over a period of 1 week. Second, review your log to identify recurring patterns and note the moments when distractions or inefficiencies occur. Third, engage in self-reflection by setting aside time each day to write about your experiences, emotions, and insights related to how you spend your time. Fourth, assess your priorities by comparing your current activities with your core values and long-term goals, making adjustments where necessary. Each of these steps is interconnected, forming a cycle of self-improvement that, when practiced consistently, will lead to lasting change. As you work through these steps, remember that change is a gradual process. There will be days when the effort feels overwhelming, and you may even question whether you are making any progress at all. In these moments, draw strength from the knowledge that every small step forward is a victory. Just as a river carves its path through solid rock over time, your persistent efforts will eventually lead to a profound transformation in how you relate to time. The key is to remain patient, resilient, and focus on your vision for the future. The journey of assessing your current relationship with time is not merely about efficiency or productivity. It is about reclaiming your power and designing a life that is truly your own. It is about recognizing that time, when managed with intention, becomes a canvas upon which you can paint the masterpiece of your life. Every decision, every moment of self-reflection, every adjustment to your routine is a brushstroke contributing to the larger picture of who you are and who you aspire to be. In reflecting on the insights you have gained, it is essential to consider the broader implications of how you spend your time. The simple act of tracking your daily activities can reveal surprising trends that extend far beyond mere productivity. For instance, you might discover that the time you spend in contemplation or engaging in creative pursuits is the same time that recharges your spirit and renews your passion for life. Recognizing the value of these moments is critical, as it helps to balance the demands of work with the need for rest and rejuvenation. The art of time mastery lies in the delicate balance between structure and spontaneity, a balance that you are now empowered to achieve. As you internalize these lessons, take a moment to consider how you will apply them in your life moving forward. Perhaps you will experiment with different time tracking techniques until you find one that feels natural. Maybe you will commit to a daily journaling practice that helps you uncover hidden emotions and motivations. Or perhaps you will begin to set clearer priorities, ensuring that each day is a reflection of your most cherished values. Whatever approach you choose, know that the power to transform your life lies within your hands. You are the architect of your time, and with each deliberate choice, you are building a future that is aligned with your deepest dreams and aspirations. In closing, let us revisit the key points that have been woven throughout this chapter. First, conducting a time audit is the essential first step in understanding where your time goes. This practice, though it may seem mundane at first, holds the power to reveal the intricate patterns of your daily life. Second, identifying these patterns is crucial in distinguishing between habits that drain your energy and those that propel you forward. Recognizing these recurring themes allows you to see the subtle ways in which your actions align or misalign with your goals. Third, self-reflection through journaling is an invaluable tool in uncovering the emotional and psychological barriers that may be sabotaging your efforts. By exploring your inner world, you gain clarity about the forces that drive your behavior. Fourth, assessing your priorities is a culminating step that bridges the gap between awareness and action. It is here that you realign your daily activities with your core values. paving the way for a more balanced and purpose-driven life. As you continue on this journey of time mastery, remember that every moment counts. Embrace the process with an open heart and a resilient spirit. There will be challenges along the way, but each challenge is an opportunity to learn and to grow. Your journey towards mastering time is a testament to your commitment to living a life of balance, purpose, and continuous improvement. The insights and practices you have explored in this chapter are the first building blocks of a future where you are not merely a passive recipient of time, but an active creator of your destiny. To summarize the main points. 1. Begin with a detailed time audit by tracking every activity throughout your day, week, and month. This process helps reveal where your time is truly spent and highlights both productive and unproductive patterns. 2. Identify patterns in your behavior by reviewing your time log, noting recurring habits that may be draining your energy or hindering your progress. Distinguish between activities that add value to your life and those that detract from your goals. 3. Engage in honest self-reflection through journaling. Use this practice to explore the emotional and psychological barriers that may be preventing you from using your time effectively. Ask yourself reflective questions to gain deeper insight into your motivations and behaviors. 4. Assess your priorities by aligning your daily activities with your core values and long-term aspirations. Recognize that saying no to certain obligations is sometimes necessary to create space for what truly matters. Every moment you invest in this process is an investment in your future. As you learn to harness the power of each minute, you will find that you are better equipped to balance work, life, and your dreams. The path to time mastery is not about perfection. It is about continuous, intentional improvement every single day. In the weeks and months ahead, allow these practices to become a natural part of your routine. As you refine your approach and integrate these techniques into your daily life, you will experience a growing sense of control and empowerment. You will begin to see that time, when managed with purpose and clarity, becomes not a constraint but a source of endless possibility. Embrace this journey wholeheartedly, and let the lessons of the day be the foundation upon which you build a life that is rich in meaning, balance, and success. Remember, the mastery of time is the mastery of life itself. Every decision you make, every habit you adjust, and every moment you reclaim is a step toward a brighter, more fulfilling future. As you move forward, carry with you conviction that you have the power to shape your destiny, 1 minute at a time. The journey has just begun, and the potential that lies ahead is boundless. Take a deep breath and acknowledge the commitment you are making to yourself. By embarking on this path, you are choosing to live intentionally, to pursue your dreams with clarity, and to embrace a future where every moment is cherished. The insights you have gained in this chapter are not merely steps on the path. They are the tools of transformation, guiding you toward a life where work, life, and dreams exist in perfect harmony. As we conclude this chapter, hold fast to the lessons learned and allow them to inspire you to take bold action. The journey to mastering your time is a journey toward mastering yourself. Trust in your ability to change and know that every minute you reclaim is a victory that brings you one step closer to the life you were always meant to live. Now, as you reflect on what you have heard, remember these 4 essential takeaways. Track your time with diligence. Identify the patterns that govern your behavior. Delve into the depths of your inner world through self-reflection and realign your daily actions with your core values. With these guiding principles in mind, you are well on your way to unlocking the full potential of every precious moment. May this chapter serve as a source of inspiration and empowerment as you begin to shape a future filled with clarity, purpose, and balance. The power to transform your relationship with time lies within you. And with each deliberate choice, you're creating the blueprint for a life where your dreams are not only envisioned but fully realized. Chapter 2. Clarifying your goals and priorities. What if the biggest reason you feel overwhelmed isn't a lack of time, but a lack of clarity? Time itself is constant. Every single person on this planet gets the same 24 hours each day. The difference between those who feel in control and those who feel trapped isn't the clock. It's their clarity. Without a clear vision, Time becomes an endless stream of tasks, distractions, and obligations that pull you in different directions. But when you define what truly matters to you, time becomes an ally. It bends in your favor, allow you to move with purpose and efficiency. The first step toward mastering time is understanding what you genuinely value. Think of your life as a compass. If you don't set a clear direction, you'll end up wandering aimlessly, reacting to whatever comes your way. That's why it's essential to clarify your values and vision. One effective exercise is writing a personal mission statement. Imagine it's years from now, and you're looking back on your life. What would make you proud? What impact do you want to have? What kind of person do you want to be remembered as? This simple yet profound exercise helps reveal your core values. When your values are clear, decisions become easier, and your priorities start to align naturally. Once you have a vision, the next step is setting actionable goals. Many people set vague ambitions like, I want to be successful or I want to get in shape. But without specificity, these goals lack power. This is where the SMART framework comes in. Goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Instead of saying, I want to be successful, define it clearly. I want to increase my income by 30% in the next 12 months by launching my own consulting business. Instead of, I want to get in shape, say, I will train 4 times a week, track my calories, and lose 15 pounds in 3 months. Specificity brings clarity, and clarity fuels action. Prioritization is where most people struggle. Even with clear goals, daily life is filled with urgent distractions that make it hard to focus on what truly matters. This is why mastering prioritization techniques is key. One of the most effective tools is the Eisenhower matrix, which categorizes tasks into 4 quadrants. Urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither urgent nor important. Many people spend their time on urgent but unimportant tasks, responding to endless emails, putting out fires, handling minor requests, while neglecting activities that are important but not urgent, like strategic planning, skill building, or personal growth. True time mastery means prioritizing those high-value activities before they become urgent. Clarity alone isn't enough. Alignment is the final piece of the puzzle. You can have well-defined goals and a structured priority system, but if your daily actions don't support your vision, you'll never make real progress. This is why it's important to conduct an alignment check. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did my actions today move me closer to my long-term goals? If not, what adjustments do I need to make? Small, consistent shifts in behavior create massive transformations over time. Consider the story of a once overworked executive who was constantly caught up in urgent tasks. He had a high-paying job but felt disconnected from his family and unfulfilled in his career. One day, he decided to take control by reassessing his priorities. He restructured his schedule, setting strict boundaries around work and dedicating uninterrupted time to his family. Within a year, his productivity soared, his relationships improved, and his sense of purpose was reignited. His time didn't change, his clarity did. The power of clarity is undeniable. It turned confusion into confidence, hesitation into action, and busyness into meaningful progress. When you define what truly matters, you take the first step toward mastering time, not as a limitation, but as a tool to create the life you envision. To recap, clarifying your goals and priorities starts with identifying your values and creating a personal mission statement. From there, setting SMART goals ensures that your ambitions are specific and actionable. Mastering prioritization techniques like the Eisenhower matrix helps separate what truly matters from distractions. Finally, aligning your daily actions with your long-term vision ensures lasting success. When you take control of your time in this way, you're not just managing tasks. You're designing your life with intention, purpose, and power. Chapter 3. Planning and Scheduling for Success. Imagine standing in front of a blank canvas with a palette of colors in hand. You have a vision in your mind, a masterpiece of productivity, achievement, and fulfillment. But without a deliberate strategy, without careful strokes of the brush, your vision remains just that, an idea unrealized. Planning and scheduling are the brushstrokes of your life's masterpiece, shaping the raw potential of time into something meaningful. Every great achiever, from business moguls to world-class artists, understands that time isn't something to be managed passively. It's something to be designed with intention. One of the most powerful techniques for designing your time is time blocking. This strategy is simple but transformative. Instead of letting tasks scatter across your day, you assign specific blocks of time for deep work, meetings, creative pursuits, rest, and personal commitments. It turns your schedule into a framework that ensures the right things get done at the right time. Studies have shown that deep work, uninterrupted, focused effort, produces exponentially better results than multitasking or sporadic attention. Think about how an architect plans every detail of a building structure before construction begins. In the same way, time blocking ensures that your most important tasks are built into your day with purpose rather than left to chance. For instance, consider how an elite athlete prepares for a major competition. Training is not left to random moments of motivation. It is scheduled with precision. There are dedicated times for strength training, skill development, recovery, and strategic analysis. The same principle applies to anyone striving for success in any field. If you don't schedule time for what matters most, distractions and urgent but unimportant tasks will consume your day. When you deliberately carve out time for focused work, you enter a state of flow, where productivity feels effortless and progress is tangible. While time blocking creates a strong foundation, success requires ongoing adjustments. That's where daily and weekly reviews become invaluable. Just as a pilot recalibrates a plane's course during a flight, regular reviews allow you to assess where you are, realign with your goals, and make necessary changes. A daily review takes just a few minutes each evening. You reflect on what worked, what didn't, and what needs to be prioritized the next day. This habit keeps you in control, preventing unexpected events from derailing your long-term goals. Weekly reviews take a broader perspective. They help you evaluate the bigger picture, celebrate wins, learn from setbacks, and set intentions for the week ahead. Many high performers credit their success to the simple habit of reviewing and refining their schedules. At the same time, an effective schedule isn't just about discipline. It's about flexibility. Rigidity can lead to frustration when the unexpected arises. The most successful people balance structure with adaptability. A well-designed plan provides clarity, but also allows room for adjustments when necessary. Think of it like a jazz musician who follows a set rhythm, yet improvises based on the energy of the moment. The key is to establish a core structure while leaving space for spontaneity and creative problem solving. If an urgent matter disrupts your schedule, you can shift tasks without losing momentum. When structure flexibility is embraced, setbacks become temporary detours rather than full stops. Another crucial aspect of planning for success is selecting the right tools. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. Some people thrive using digital tools, calendars, scheduling apps, and task managers that sync across devices and send reminders. Others find that analog methods like physical planners or bullet journals provide a more tangible sense of focus and commitment. The best approach is the one that integrates seamlessly with your workflow. Consider the example of a film director managing a complex production schedule. Some directors rely on cutting-edge software, keep track of every detail, while others prefer whiteboards and handwritten notes. Both methods work if they align with the person's natural working style. The important thing is consistency. Whichever tool you use it effectively and make it a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. When all these elements come together, time blocking, structured reviews, flexible planning, the right tools, you create a system that empowers you rather than overwhelms you. Instead of feeling like there's never enough time, you gain control over your schedule. Instead of reacting to each day's demands, you shape your time with intention. The difference between people who succeed and those who struggle isn't that they have more hours in a day. It's that they use their hours differently. To recap, planning and scheduling for success starts with time blocking, ensuring that essential tasks are assigned dedicated slots in your day. Daily and weekly reviews keep you on track and help you refine your approach. A balance between structure and flexibility ensures that your schedule remains resilient even in the face of unexpected challenges. And integrating the right tools, whether digital or analog, allows you to stay organized and consistent. Master these elements, and you'll transform time from an elusive resource into a powerful ally. The next chapter will take this foundation further, exploring how to eliminate distractions and create an environment that fuels peak performance. Chapter 4. Overcoming procrastination and building momentum. Imagine standing at the edge of a diving board, staring at the water below. You know you need to jump, but something keeps you frozen in place. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's hesitation, or maybe it's the illusion that you have more time. This is procrastination in its purest form. Knowing what needs to be done but hesitating until the last possible moment. It's a battle between logic and emotion, between your best intentions and the instant gratification of avoidance. Procrastination is not just about laziness or poor time management. It's deeply rooted in psychology, habits, and even our environment. Studies show that people procrastinate for different reasons. Some fear failure, while others feel overwhelmed by the size of a task. Some seek perfection, while others are simply distracted by the constant flood of entertainment and social media. Whatever the reason, the result is always the same, a cycle of guilt, stress, and last-minute scrambling. But what if you could break that cycle? One of the most effective ways to overcome procrastination is to understand its psychological roots. Often, it starts with fear of discomfort. Whether it's the discomfort of hard work, the unknown, or potential failure, the brain is wired to seek pleasure and avoid pain, which is why distractions like scrolling on your phone or binge watching a show feel so tempting. Your brain rewards you with a hit of dopamine, reinforcing the avoidance behavior. The key to breaking free is to rewire that reward system. A powerful technique is the 5-minute rule. The idea is simple. Tell yourself you only have to work on the task for 5 minutes. That's it. The reason this works is that starting is the hardest part. Once you begin, momentum kicks in, and before you know it, 5 minutes turns into 20, then an hour. This method tricks your brain into bypassing resistance and makes daunting tasks feel manageable. Another effective strategy is breaking tasks into smaller steps. If you have a major project ahead, don't focus on the entire mountain. Focus on the first step. A writer doesn't write an entire book in one sitting. They start with a sentence, then a paragraph, then a page. Progress fuels motivation, and small wins create momentum. In addition to practical strategies, mindset adjustments play a crucial role in overcoming procrastination. One of the most damaging beliefs is the idea that you must feel motivated before taking action. The truth is, action precedes motivation, not the other way around. If you wait to feel inspired before you start working, you'll be waiting forever. Instead, develop the discipline to act despite how you feel. Think of an athlete training early in the morning. They don't always feel like getting up and pushing their limits, but they do it anyway. Over time, their discipline transforms into second nature. Self-compassion is another game changer. Many people fall into a negative loop when they procrastinate, criticizing themselves harshly and reinforcing the belief that they are lazy or incapable. This only makes procrastination worse. Research shows that people who practice self-compassion are more likely to recover from setbacks and take action. Instead of beating yourself up, acknowledge your struggles and refocus on what you can do now. Progress is always more important than perfection. Building a routine is one of the most powerful ways to sustain momentum. When a task becomes part of your daily rhythm, it eliminates the need to rely on willpower. Successful people structure their day in a way that minimizes decision fatigue. Think about it. If you had to consciously decide every day whether or not to brush your teeth, you'd probably skip it sometimes. But because it's a habit, you do it without question. The same principle applies to productivity. A great way to build a routine is to set clear start and stop time for work. Treat your working hours like an appointment you cannot cancel. Eliminate distractions by designing an environment that supports focus. If your phone is a constant source of temptation, put it in another room. If your workspace feels uninspiring, make it a place where you actually want to sit down and get things done. Momentum is your greatest ally. Once you start making progress, even small progress, it creates a sense of accomplishment that fuels further action. This is why even something as simple as making your bed in the morning can set the tone for the entire day. Small actions build confidence, and confidence builds momentum. At the end of the day, procrastination is not just about time management. It's about self-management. It's about recognizing your patterns, breaking through resistance, and creating a system that makes success inevitable. The goal is not to eliminate procrastination forever. Even the most productive people have moments of delay. The goal is to develop the tools and habits that allow you to take control, take action, and move forward despite the urge to put things off. Recap. Procrastination is often rooted in fear, perfectionism, or the brain's natural tendency to seek comfort. The best way to overcome it is by taking action before motivation strikes, using tools like the 5-minute rule, and breaking tasks into smaller steps. Cultivating self-compassion prevents the guilt cycle that worsens procrastination. Finally, building a structured routine eliminates unnecessary decision-making and fuels long-term momentum. Progress, no matter how small, is the key to moving forward. Chapter 5. Cultivating effective work habits. There is one defining trait that separates the most successful individuals from the rest. It is not intelligence, luck, or even talent. It is the ability to cultivate work habits that maximize focus, energy, and productivity over time. In a world filled with distractions, those who master their habits hold the key to unlocking extraordinary achievements. Imagine two individuals. One spends their days bouncing between emails, social media, and meetings, never quite making progress on meaningful work. The other carves out uninterrupted time for deep, focused work, managing their energy strategically and minimizing distractions. Both have the same hours in the day, but their results are worlds apart. One remains stuck in a cycle of busyness, while the other builds a body of work that leaves a lasting impact. This is the power of effective work habits. Deep work is the foundation of high achievement. It is the ability to focus intensely on cognitively demanding tasks without distractions. The opposite, shallow work, consists of low-value, often reactive tasks such as responding to emails, attending unnecessary meetings, or scrolling through notifications. While shallow work may feel productive in the moment, it rarely leads to significant accomplishments. Studies show that deep work enhances cognitive abilities, improves problem-solving skills, and accelerates learning. A well-known example is a renowned chess player who devoted 4-hour blocks of intense focus to analyzing games, leading to rapid mastery of complex strategies. To cultivate deep work, one must first create an environment that supports it. This means eliminating distractions, setting clear boundaries, and training the mind to resist the lure of multitasking. Turning off notifications, setting specific work hours, and using noise-canceling headphones can significantly improve concentration. Many high achievers schedule deep work sessions during their peak energy hours, ensuring their minds are at their sharpest when tackling important projects. One of the most effective productivity techniques is the Pomodoro technique, which involves working in focused 25-minute intervals followed by short breaks. This method capitalizes on the brain's natural attention span, preventing burnout while maintaining high levels of productivity. Another approach is batching similar tasks together, such as answering emails in designated time slots rather than sporadically throughout the day. Research has shown that task switching can reduce productivity by up to 40%, making batching a powerful habit for efficiency. Prioritizing high-impact work is also crucial. Instead of reacting to what feels urgent, successful individuals identify the tasks that will create the most significant long-term results. A well-respected business leader once attributed his success to asking himself daily, what is the one thing I can do today that will make everything else easier or unnecessary? Distraction management is a critical skill in a digital world designed to steal attention. The average person checks their phone over 150 times per day, significantly disrupting focus. To combat this, setting designated times to check messages, using website blockers, and creating a dedicated workspace free from interruptions can help maintain sustained attention. A study on workplace productivity revealed that it takes an average of 23 minutes to regain deep focus after an interruption, illustrating the importance of creating an environment that minimizes disruptions. Managing energy is just as important as managing time. Many people assume working longer hours leads to more productivity, but research indicates that working smarter is far more effective. Energy levels fluctuate throughout the day, influenced by factors such as sleep, nutrition, and movement. Aligning demanding tasks with peak energy periods, often in the morning for most people, can result in dramatically improved performance. A famous filmmaker known for their relentless creativity schedules creative work in the early hours of the morning when the mind is fresh, leaving administrative tasks for later in the day. Strategic breaks, such as a short walk or mindfulness practice, can also boost energy and sustain high performance throughout the day. Consistency is key when cultivating effective work habits. The most productive individuals do not rely on motivation alone. They build systems that make success inevitable. They design their daily routines to reduce friction and make productive choices easier. If going to the gym requires too many steps, they set out workout clothes the night before. If writing is their primary focus, they establish a non-negotiable time slot every morning. These small, intentional decisions compound over time, leading to extraordinary outcomes. At the core of cultivating effective work habits is the understanding that time is a non-renewable resource. Every minute spent on shallow work is a minute taken away from deep, meaningful progress. The choice to master one's habits is ultimately the choice to master one's future. To recap, deep work is a foundation of high productivity, requiring an environment free from distractions and a deliberate approach to focus. Productivity techniques such as the Pomodoro technique, batching tasks, and prioritizing high impact work significantly enhance efficiency. Managing distractions by setting boundaries and creating a focused workspace prevents wasted time. Energy management. Through aligning tasks with peak energy levels and taking strategic breaks, ensures long-term productivity without burnout. Finally, consistency in these habits transforms them into effortless systems that drive success over time. By committing to cultivating these work habits, you are not just increasing productivity, you are taking control of your future. Your dreams, ambitions, and goals depend on what you do with your time today. Master your work habits, and you will master your destiny. Chapter 6. Creating Work-Life Harmony. Work-life balance is a myth. There, I said it. The idea that you can slice your life into perfect, equal portions of work, personal time, relationships, and self-care is an illusion that sets people up for failure. The real goal isn't balance. It's harmony. Think of your life as an orchestra. Every instrument, your career, health, family, passions, has a role to play, but not all at the same time, and certainly not at the same volume. The key is learning to conduct your life so that the right elements take center stage when they need to, without drowning out the others. True work-life harmony is about integrating all aspects of your life in a way that feels fulfilling, sustainable, and uniquely yours. Setting boundaries is one of the first and most essential steps to creating harmony. In a world where technology keeps us tethered to work 24/7, it's easy to blur the lines between professional and personal life. Without clear boundaries, work seeps into every corner of life. Dinners are interrupted by emails, vacations become extensions of the office, and the mind never truly rests. To regain control, start by defining your non-negotiables. This could mean no work calls after 7 p.m., setting specific times for family and personal activities, or creating a dedicated workspace that you physically leave at the end of the day. Some of the most successful professionals in the world adhere to strict boundaries. Bill Gates is known for scheduling think weeks away from work to focus on personal growth and reflection, while Jeff Bezos prioritizes getting 8 hours of sleep and family breakfast time over early morning meetings. Boundaries are not barriers to success. They are the foundation for sustained high performance. One of the biggest challenges of maintaining these boundaries is the ability to say no. Most people struggle with this because they fear missing out, disappointing others, or jeopardizing opportunities. But every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that truly matters. Saying no is not about rejection. It's about prioritization. Warren Buffett once said, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." The key is to be intentional. Before committing to anything, ask yourself, does this align with my long-term goals? Will this bring fulfillment or just add to my plate? If it doesn't serve a meaningful purpose, politely decline. It helps to have go-to responses like, "I appreciate the opportunity, but I have prior commitments," or "I'd love to help, but I need to focus on my current priorities." The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Work-life harmony isn't just about managing time. It's about managing energy. A well-designed wellness routine ensures that you're not just productive, but also present and engaged in your life. Physical health plays a significant role in mental clarity and emotional stability. Simple habits like regular exercise, nutritious meals, and sufficient sleep compound over time to build resilience. But wellness goes beyond physical health. Mental and emotional self-care, such as mindfulness, journaling, and unplugging from technology, are equally vital. Arianna Huffington, after suffering from burnout, became a vocal advocate for rest and mindfulness, proving that success doesn't have to come at the cost of well-being. By integrating wellness into your daily routine, you don't just improve your health, you enhance every area of life. No discussion of harmony is complete without addressing relationships. The people in your life, family, friends, mentors, are not just an emotional support system. They are the foundation of fulfillment. However, in the pursuit of professional success, personal relationships are often the first to suffer. The solution isn't just spending time with loved ones. It's ensuring that time is meaningful. Studies show that quality matters far more than quantity. A weekend spent fully engaged with family, without distractions, is more valuable than a week of half-hearted interactions. The key is presence. Set aside time for the people who matter, communicate openly, and show appreciation. Richard Branson, despite his vast business empire, makes family a priority and attributes much of his success to the support of his loved ones. The more you nurture relationships, the stronger and more fulfilling your life becomes. Creating work-life harmony is a continuous process, not a one-time fix. It requires self-awareness, adaptability, and a willingness to reassess priorities as life evolves. The goal isn't to find a perfect equilibrium, but to create a life where all aspects work together in a way that feels enriching. At the end of the day, success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about how you live. To recap, true work-life harmony starts with setting boundaries that protect your time and energy. It requires mastering the art of saying no to distractions and commitments that don't align with your priorities. Integrating wellness routines ensures that you maintain physical, emotional, and mental resilience. Finally, nurturing personal relationships and being fully present with loved ones brings meaning to your journey. When these elements work in unison, you don't just manage time, you master life. Chapter 7. Nurturing your personal dreams and passions. There's a dream inside you that refuses to be silenced. Maybe it has been buried under the weight of responsibilities, drowned out by the noise of daily obligations, or postponed for a better time that never seems to arrive. But the truth is, waiting for the perfect moment to pursue what sets your soul on fire is the surest way to never begin at all. If you've ever felt a quiet longing to write that book, start that business, learn that instrument, or travel to that distant place, then this chapter is your wake-up call. Your dreams and passions are not distractions from life. They are the essence of it. One of the greatest obstacles to pursuing personal dreams is the misconception that they must wait until after you have achieved success in other areas. But the most fulfilled people in the world understand that success is not a linear path. It is a balanced integration of ambition, creativity, and personal fulfillment. Steve Jobs once remarked, The only way to do great work is to love what you do. That love comes from deeply aligning your work with your passions, whether they become your main career or remain personal endeavors that nourish your spirit. The first step in nurturing your personal dreams is to explore what truly excites and inspires you. Many people struggle with identifying their passions because they have spent years prioritizing what is practical over what is meaningful. If you are unsure what ignites your enthusiasm, look to the activities that make you lose track of time, the subjects that make you light up in conversation, and the ideas you keep returning to in quiet moments. Sometimes, rediscovering childhood interests can provide clues. If you once loved painting, storytelling, or problem solving, those inclinations may still hold the key to your deeper aspirations. Once you have identified a passion, the next challenge is finding the time to cultivate it alongside your career and responsibilities. The notion that you need unlimited free time to pursue your dreams is one of the biggest lies that keep people stagnant. The reality is, time is made, not found. Even the busiest individuals carve out space for personal projects by prioritizing them as non-negotiable parts of their schedule. Novelist Toni Morrison, who worked full-time as an editor while raising 2 children, wrote her first books in the early hours of the morning before her household awakened. She didn't wait for ideal conditions. She created them. The key to balancing passion projects with career responsibilities is strategic time investment. Small, consistent efforts compound into extraordinary results. Rather than waiting for a large block of time to open up, commit to dedicating even 20 minutes a day to your passion. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, highlights the power of incremental progress. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. If you write 1 page a day, in a year you will have written a book. If you practice a new skill for just 15 minutes daily, in a year you will be significantly ahead of where you started. However, the biggest barriers to pursuing personal passions are often not external but internal. Fear of failure, self-doubt, and perfectionism can quietly sabotage your progress before you even begin. The most successful people have the same fears, but they act despite them. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination before he built one of the most creative empires in history. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. If you find yourself hesitating, remember that perfection is the enemy of progress. A first draft, a rough sketch, or an initial attempt is infinitely more valuable than an unrealized idea. Another common challenge is the guilt associated with investing time in personal pursuits when there are so many other demands. Many people feel that focusing on themselves is selfish, but the truth is, nurture your passions makes you more fulfilled, energized, and capable in every area of life. Studies in positive psychology show that engaging in personally meaningful activities increases overall happiness and reduces stress. When you prioritize your dreams, you become more present and engaged in your work and relationships, rather than feeling drained and disconnected. There are practical ways to integrate your passions into your life without feeling overwhelmed. First, treat your passion like a commitment, just as you would a meeting or a deadline. Block out time in your calendar and protect it from distractions. Second, build a support system. Surround yourself with people who encourage your growth rather than those who dismiss your ambitions. Third, embrace flexibility. Some seasons of life will allow more time for personal endeavors than others, but consistency over time is what matters most. History is filled with individuals who pursued personal dreams alongside demanding careers. Nobel Prize-winning scientist Richard Feynman played the bongo drums and painted in his spare time, believing that creativity in one area fueled excellence in another. Likewise, successful entrepreneurs, doctors, and engineers have written best-selling novels, composed music, and engaged in artistic pursuits without sacrificing their professional commitments. The key is to view your passion not as separate from your work, but as a complementary force that enhances your overall fulfillment and success. As you begin this journey of nurturing your personal dreams, remind yourself that no one is going to hand you permission. You must give it to yourself. Your passions matter. Your creative voice matters. The world needs what only you can bring to it. The best time to start is now. To recap, identifying and pursuing personal dreams requires intention, commitment, and strategic time investment. Passion projects are not distractions from success, but integral to a fulfilled life. Small, consistent efforts build momentum over time. Overcoming internal barriers like fear and perfectionism is essential. Guilt should never deter you from doing what brings you joy and meaning. And finally, integrating your dreams into daily life is possible through discipline, support systems, and flexible approaches. In the end, the real measure of success is not just what you accomplish professionally, but whether you have lived in alignment with your deepest aspirations. Chase what excites you. Prioritize what fulfills you. And never let the world convince you that your dreams are anything less than essential. Chapter 8. Practicing mindfulness and presence. Time is elusive. It slips through our fingers, lost in the endless cycle of thoughts, worries, and distractions. How often do we find ourselves rushing through the day, only to realize we remember very little of it? We move from one task to another, barely pausing to breathe, feeling overwhelmed yet strangely unfulfilled. The irony is that the more we chase time, the more it evades us. But what if the key to mastering time wasn't about controlling it, but about fully experiencing it? This is where mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness is not just a trend or a spiritual practice reserved for monks on mountaintops. It is a practical, science-backed approach to living with greater clarity, focus, and peace. At its core, mindfulness is the art of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It sounds simple, yet it has profound implications for our ability to manage time effectively. When we are mindful, we become more intentional with our actions, less reactive to stress, and more capable of making clear decisions. Studies from institutions like Harvard have shown that mindfulness can reduce stress, improve cognitive function, and even increase overall happiness. But beyond the research, mindfulness is an experience, a way of living that allows us to reclaim our time and energy. To cultivate mindfulness, we begin with awareness. The first step is noticing when our mind wanders. The human brain is wired for distraction. Research suggests that nearly 47% of our waking hours are spent thinking about something other than what we are doing. This is not just a waste of time. It's a drain on our mental resources. Imagine reading a book while simultaneously watching a movie and checking your phone. Your brain is constantly switching gears, never fully absorbing anything. The same thing happens when we juggle too many thoughts or multitask excessively. Mindfulness trains us to bring our attention back to the present, sharpening our focus and deepening our engagement with whatever we are doing. One of the simplest ways to practice mindfulness is through conscious breathing. The breath is always present, making it a powerful anchor to the now. A well-known technique is a 4-7-8 breathing method. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. This not only calms the nervous system, but also brings immediate awareness to the moment. Try it now. Take a slow, deep breath, feeling the air fill your lungs. As you exhale, let go of any tension. This single breath is a reminder that you are here, now. The more we practice this, the more natural it becomes to return to presence throughout the day. Meditation is another powerful tool for cultivating mindfulness, yet many people misunderstand it. Meditation is not about emptying the mind or achieving a state of bliss. It is simply the practice of observing thoughts without getting caught up in them. Even 5 minutes of meditation a day can enhance concentration, reduce anxiety, and improve emotional resilience. Techniques such as guided meditation, body scans, or focusing on a single mantra help train the mind to stay present. One of the most effective methods is mindfulness meditation, where you sit quietly, focus on your breath, and gently bring your attention back whenever it wanders. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to stay present in everyday life. Whether you're having a conversation, working on a project, or enjoying a meal, the benefits of mindfulness extend far beyond stress reduction. When it comes to time mastery, mindfulness enhances decision-making. Consider the difference between reacting and responding. When we react impulsively, we waste time correcting mistakes, dealing with misunderstandings, or regretting hasty choices. A mindful approach allows us to pause, assess, and respond with clarity. This applies to everything from work decisions to personal interactions. A study from the University of California found that individuals who practice mindfulness make more thoughtful and effective decisions, as they are less influenced by emotional impulses and cognitive biases. Another way mindfulness supports time management is by increasing efficiency. A common misconception is that working faster leads to greater productivity. In reality, working with focus and presence leads to better results in less time. Think about a time when you were fully immersed in a task, experiencing what psychologists call a flow state. In these moments, distractions fade away, and work feels almost effortless. Mindfulness cultivates this ability by training the mind to stay engaged. The more present we are, the less time we waste on procrastination, overthinking, or unnecessary rework. Integrating mindfulness into daily life does not require extra hours in the day. It simply involves approaching routine activities with greater awareness. When eating, pay attention to the flavors and textures of your food instead of scrolling through your phone. When walking, notice the sensation of your feet touching the ground. When listening to someone, give them your full attention rather than planning what to say next. These small shifts bring a sense of calm and clarity, making even mundane tasks more meaningful. Over time, mindfulness becomes a way of being rather than something you have to think about. A common challenge people face is consistency. Like any skill, mindfulness requires practice. The key is to start small and build gradually. Set aside a few minutes each morning to practice deep breathing. Use reminders, such as a mindfulness app or a simple sticky note, to bring your attention back to present throughout the day. Instead of trying to eliminate distractions entirely, practice noticing them without immediately reacting. Over time, these efforts accumulate, creating a more centered and intentional way of living. One of the most inspiring examples of mindfulness in action is Steve Jobs. Known for his intense focus and visionary thinking, Jobs credited much of his success to his meditation practice. He often spoke about the importance of quieting the mind to access deeper creativity and clarity. His ability to remain present in discussions, listen attentively, and make bold yet thoughtful decisions was a direct result of his mindfulness practice. While not everyone aspires to be a tech mogul, the principle remains the same. Mindfulness is a tool for greater awareness, sharper focus, and a more meaningful life. To summarize, mindfulness is not just about relaxation. It is a tool for reclaiming time and using it wisely. By training ourselves to be present, we enhance our focus, make better decisions, and reduce the stress that often comes from feeling rushed. Simple practices like conscious breathing, meditation, and bringing awareness to daily activities help integrate mindfulness into our lives. The more we practice, the more natural it becomes to stay present, even in high-pressure situations. Time mastery is not about doing more. It is about experiencing life fully and intentionally. And that begins with being here, now. Chapter 9, Leveraging Technology and Tools. Imagine waking up to a world where your tasks are seamlessly managed. Reminders come exactly when you need them. And technology works as an invisible force. Amplify your productivity instead of draining it. This isn't a fantasy. It's the reality of those who have mastered the art of leveraging technology without becoming enslaved by it. In a time when digital tools are more advanced than ever, the challenge is no longer access but intentionality. The right tools can free you to focus on what truly matters, your growth, your relationships, and your dreams. But without discipline, technology can easily become a source of distraction rather than empowerment. One of the greatest advantages of modern technology is its ability to act as an extension of our brains. Digital productivity tools, when chosen wisely, transform the way we schedule, plan, and execute. There are task management apps that serve as virtual assistants, reminding you of deadlines, tracking progress, and even helping you prioritize what matters most. Applications like Notion, Todoist, and Asana are built to streamline task management, ensuring that nothing falls through the cracks. Calendars like Google Calendar or Fantastical allow seamless scheduling, while habit tracking apps such as Streaks or Abitica keep you accountable to your personal growth goals. But technology is only as effective as the strategy behind it. The secret isn't in using more tools, but in integrating them effectively into a system that supports your lifestyle rather than complicates it. Beyond organization, automation is a game changer. Some of the most successful individuals and companies have mastered automation, delegating repetitive, time-consuming tasks to systems that run effortlessly in the background. Email filters can sort messages before they even reach your inbox, freeing you from digital clutter. Workflow automation tools like Zapier and If Connect apps, allowing actions in one to trigger responses in another without manual intervention. Even personal life can benefit from automation, from automating bill payments to setting up grocery deliveries. The key is to identify routine tasks that drain time and systematize them so you can focus on high-impact work. However, with the rise of digital tools comes an equally pressing challenge: managing digital distractions. Studies suggest that the average person checks their phone over 150 times a day, often unconsciously. Social media, endless notifications, and the lure of instant gratification can hijack productivity. Digital minimalism offers a solution. Instead of fighting against technology, it encourages curating your digital environment to support deep focus. This might mean setting specific time blocks for social media rather than aimlessly scrolling, using website blockers to prevent distractions, or adopting strategies like the Pomodoro technique, where focused work intervals are followed by short breaks. The principle is simple. Technology should work for you, not against you. Yet, even with all these advancements, technology should never replace the human touch. While automation and digital systems enhance efficiency, they cannot replace deep work, meaningful relationships, or the creative energy that comes from real-world experiences. Some of history's greatest minds relied on solitude and undisturbed thought to produce their most profound work. Even in modern times, high performers often schedule tech-free hours to allow space for deep thinking and genuine connection. True time mastery comes from knowing when to engage with technology and when to step away. As we navigate the digital age, the goal is not to reject technology, but to wield it with intention. Productivity tools should simplify life, not complicate it. Automation should create freedom, not detachment. Digital minimalism should empower focus, not create isolation. And above all, technology should serve as a bridge to greater purpose, not a barrier of fulfillment. The mastery of time in the modern world is not about doing more, but about doing what matters with clarity and precision. To summarize, technology, when used strategically, can be a powerful ally in achieving balance and productivity. Digital productivity tools help organize tasks, automation eliminates unnecessary work, and managing digital distractions ensures that focus remains on what truly matters. However, balance is key, and technology should support rather than dominate your life. By leveraging these tools wisely, you can create a system that works for you, not the other way around. The future belongs to those who use technology with intention, ensuring it amplifies their purpose rather than diminishes it. Master this, and you will not only reclaim your time, but also direct it toward the life you truly want to build. Chapter 10, Sustaining Time Mastery and Future Growth. There is a moment in every journey where you realize that mastery is not a destination. It is a way of life. You have taken control of your time, reshaped your priorities, and crafted a schedule that serves your goals rather than enslaving you. But time mastery is not a static achievement. It is a dynamic, ever-evolving skill that requires consistent refinement, adaptability, and commitment. Those who sustain their success understand that growth never truly ends. Instead, it transforms, deepens, and expands as they move forward. The key to sustaining time mastery is regular reflection. Life moves fast, and without pausing to assess where you are, you risk drifting off course. High achievers, whether in business, sports, or creative fields, build structured self-assessment into their routines. Jeff Bezos, for instance, famously prioritizes long-term thinking by regularly questioning whether his current strategies align with his bigger vision. Likewise, you must periodically step back and ask, are my time management practices still serving me? Am I investing in the right priorities? What is working well and what needs adjustment? One simple but powerful technique is the weekly review, where you evaluate progress, recalibrate plans, and acknowledge accomplishments. This habit keeps you intentional rather than reactive, ensuring that your days remain aligned with your ambitions. Adapting to change is equally crucial. Life is unpredictable. Your career may take unexpected turns. Family responsibilities may shift, or new opportunities may arise. If you cling too rigidly to a system that no longer fits your circumstances, you risk inefficiency and frustration. The most resilient individuals are those who embrace change as an opportunity rather than a setback. When Steve Jobs returned to Apple after years away, he didn't just revive the company's past strategies. He reimagined its future. He adapted to new market realities and positioned Apple for long-term dominance. Similarly, your approach to time management must evolve with your circumstances. If a particular system starts feeling restrictive rather than empowering, it's time to modify it. Be willing to experiment, refine, and optimize based on what best supports your current phase of life. One of the biggest challenges in sustaining time mastery is ensuring that good habits become permanent. Many people start strong, but gradually slip back into old patterns. To prevent this, link your new habits to deep, intrinsic motivation. Research from Stanford University shows that habits are more likely to stick when they are tied to identity rather than just outcomes. Instead of telling yourself, I need to be more organized, start thinking, I am the kind of person who manages time effectively and stays in control of my life. This subtle shift reinforces your commitment and makes your habits feel like a natural part of who you are. Additionally, make your habits non-negotiable. Just as brushing your teeth isn't a decision but a daily ritual, treat your planning sessions, morning routines, and focus blocks as essential. The more automatic these habits become, the less willpower you need to maintain them. Another way to reinforce lasting change is by celebrating progress. Many high achievers track their milestones, not just to measure success, but to stay motivated. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who acknowledge and reward their small wins are more likely to sustain long-term progress. If your goal is to consistently manage your time well, recognize every step forward. Whether it's successfully following your schedule for a week, eliminating a major distraction, or achieving a work-life balance that once seemed impossible. Acknowledge these victories. Share them with others. Let them fuel your momentum. Finally, sustaining time mastery requires a forward-looking commitment. What you've built is not just a system. It's a foundation for the life you want to live. Take a moment to imagine your future self a year from now. What do you want your days to look like? How will you feel knowing that you have full control over your time? Now, write down a personal commitment statement, a promise to yourself that you will continue refining, adjusting, and growing. Keep it where you can see it often, whether it's on your desk, your phone, or a journal. Let it serve as a daily reminder that time mastery is an ongoing journey, not a one-time achievement. As we conclude this chapter, let's recap the key takeaways. First, regularly review and reflect on your time management strategies to ensure they remain aligned with your goals. Second, embrace change as a natural part of growth, adapting your approach when necessary. Third, solidify your habits by linking them to your identity and making them non-negotiable. Fourth, celebrate your progress to maintain motivation and sustain momentum. Lastly, make a long-term commitment to continuous improvement, knowing that time mastery is a lifelong pursuit. You are not just managing time, you are mastering it. And mastery, when sustained, creates a life of purpose, fulfillment, and success. Conclusion: embracing a life of balance and purpose. Mastering time is not just about managing your calendar or squeezing more tasks into your day. It is about something far deeper, living a life of purpose, clarity, and fulfillment. Think back to the journey you have taken through this audiobook. You began by assessing where you are, understanding your priorities, and learning how to craft a plan that aligns with your goals. You explored the power of structured scheduling, the importance of breaking free from procrastination, and the art of sustaining momentum over the long term. You have uncovered strategies to balance work and life without sacrificing your dreams. And now, you stand at a defining moment, the point where knowledge transforms into action. The pursuit of time mastery is not a one-time effort. It is an ongoing commitment. There is no final destination, no moment when you can say, I have mastered time once and for all. Instead, it is a journey of refinement, adaptation, and continuous improvement. Every day presents new challenges, new demands, and new opportunities to fine-tune your approach. Those who truly excel in this art are not the ones who never struggle with time, but rather those who remain committed to the process of improvement. Consider the story of a renowned scientist who, despite a packed schedule of groundbreaking research, always found time for his family and personal pursuits. He was not merely efficient. He was intentional, ensuring that his time was aligned with his deepest values. His success was not an accident. It was a reflection of his ability to master time rather than be mastered by it. What does this mean for you? It means that your ability to balance work, life, and dreams does not depend on external circumstances. It is not about having more hours in the day or waiting for the perfect conditions to arrive. It is about taking control of your time and shaping it in a way that serves your highest aspirations. It means recognizing that even the smallest adjustments, waking up 30 minutes earlier, setting clear boundaries on distractions, planning your week with intention, can lead to profound transformations over time. A single degree shift in direction may seem insignificant at first, but over weeks, months, and years, it can redefine your entire course. One of the most powerful steps you can take is to integrate intentional reflection into your daily life. Take time each evening to review your day. What went well, what could be improved, and what lessons you can carry forward. Journaling your thoughts, even for 5 minutes, can provide clarity, reinforcing what truly matters. High achievers in every field engage in regular self-reflection because they understand that success is not merely about working harder. It is about working smarter and aligning effort with impact. Another critical step is goal setting. Goals give your time direction, ensuring that your daily actions contribute to something greater. However, the most effective goals are not just ambitious. They are specific, measurable, and deeply meaningful. Rather than simply saying, I want to be more productive, define what that looks like. Does it mean finishing a project within a set time frame? Spending more quality time with loved ones? Launching a long-held passion project? When you set clear goals, your time becomes an instrument of purpose rather than a series of random obligations. As you move forward, one of the most empowering things you can do is to create a plan for the weeks ahead. Start small. Identify 3 key actions that will move you closer to your ideal balance. These could be as simple as setting up a weekly review system, limiting social media distractions, or designating specific hours for deep work. Implement them consistently, and you will soon notice the compounding effects. Remember, massive success is often a result of small, consistent actions repeated over time. Beyond the practical steps, it is essential to cultivate the right mindset. The way you think about time directly influences the way you use it. If you see time as scarce and uncontrollable, it will always feel like an uphill battle. But if you view time as a resource that you can shape with intention, you reclaim your power. This is the difference between those who feel perpetually overwhelmed and those who feel in command of their lives. It is the difference between letting time dictate your life and become the architect of your own future. At this point, you might wonder, what if I falter? What if I start strong but lose momentum? The truth is, setbacks are inevitable. There will be days when plans go awry, when distractions win, and when time seems to slip away. But that does not mean you have failed. What truly matters is how quickly you recalibrate. The most successful individuals do not have perfect time management skills. They have a resilience to adapt and continue forward. When things did not go as planned, take a step back, reassess, and re-engage with renewed focus. As you close this chapter, take a moment to imagine a version of yourself who fully embraces time mastery. Picture yourself waking up with clarity, knowing exactly what you need to do to move closer to your dreams. Imagine the sense of fulfillment that comes from being fully present in your work, your relationships, and your personal pursuits. See yourself breaking free from the grip of procrastination, replacing hesitation with decisive action. That future is not a distant fantasy. It is within reach. The only thing standing between you and that reality is the choice to begin, to implement, and to stay committed. Now it is time to take action. Grab a journal and write down 3 key insights that resonated with you most throughout this audiobook. Next, outline 1 immediate step you will take to apply what you have learned in your daily life. Then, plan your next week with intention, ensuring that your time reflects your priorities. Finally, commit to revisiting these principles regularly, refining your approach as you grow. Time mastery is not about perfection. It is about progress. It is about moving forward with intention, learning from experience, and continuously striving for alignment between your actions and your aspirations. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the ability to use your time in a way that enriches your life and empowers you to make a lasting impact. This journey does not end here. It is only the beginning. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep mastering your time. Because when you do, you master your life. Recap of key insights. 1. Time mastery is a continuous journey, not a final destination. 2. Small, intentional changes in time management lead to profound long-term transformations. 3. Reflection, goal setting, and planning are crucial for maintaining control over your time. 4. A mindset shift from scarcity to intentionality empowers you to reclaim your time. 5. Setbacks are inevitable, but resilience and adaptability determine long-term success. 6. The version of you that masters time is within reach. It starts with a decision to take action today. Your time is yours to shape. Use it wisely and create a life of balance, fulfillment, and purpose. Thank you for listening.